Made with assistance from the Community Broadcasting Foundation and heard around the world online.
You're listening to Z Games, where we bring you the best in gaming news, reviews, community, and culture.
Want to get in touch? Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Hey, you're hanging out on Z Games, the only show that's collected all of the Chaos Emeralds. Cheers for chilling out with us.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, that's right.
No.
We're at Super Sonic Radio Show. Cheers for chilling out with us this week. We guarantee you're going to hear something from the world of gaming that you do need to hear this week, and we're so happy that you're here. Today in the studio, we've got Millie, Kate, and Caitlin. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
This week, Caitlin's going to be talking about Dead or Alive 6, aren't you?
Yeah, sure am.
How did that go?
Well, let's just put it this way. We'll be seeing if it's better alive or if it should have stayed dead.
Hey. Millie's going to be bringing more spoopy goodness as well, aren't you?
Yeah, you're going to be disappointed because let me tell you something. I went and reviewed this creepypasta again, and it's not good.
Is it a travesty?
It's about 12 levels. You know, when you're 12 years old, you're like, oh my god, this is so edgy. Mummy, just don't get me.
Incredible.
It's one of those. Just like, Tears of Blood, that kind of thing. Yeah. Sorry.
Can't wait to hear all about it.
You're welcome.
And Kate's going to be taking us back to our childhood memories of Neopets, but with a twist.
I'm so ready.
Oh,
a twisty twist.
It is twisted. I can tell you that. That's no spoilers. It's twisted.
I can't wait. First up, though, as usual, we've got the week in gaming news. Across Australian radio and across the world online. From 4ZZZ Studios, this is Adrian Navratil with your weekly Z Games news update. We now know what the next generation of Pokemon games are. Pokemon Sword and Shield are coming to the Nintendo Switch worldwide later this year. Trainers will find themselves trying to be the best like no one ever was in the new Galar region, which looks to be inspired by the United Kingdom. They'll also be joined by a trio of new starter Pokemon to choose from: Grass Monkey Grookey, Fire Rabbit Scorbunny, and the always concerned-looking water-type Sobble, who is definitely won over fans. Seriously, go and Google search Sobble memes and thank me later. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate director Masahiro Sakurai has spoken about the physical toll taken while smashing out the game's development. In a translation by Nintendo Everything, Sakurai went into detail on his stomach problems, saying that when he had food poisoning symptoms during development, he would just get an IV drip and go to work like normal. As a freelancer, Sakurai didn't need to be in the office daily, but he made the effort to come in, leaving as late as 10 PM some nights. He added that he'd write proper daily reports, saying, "I'm always working, but there's a lot of things that keep me in good spirits." Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has sold over 12 million copies to date. Just 1 month after launch, Apex Legends has hit the 50 million player milestone, which is a whole lot of where we droppin' gang. The announcement on the official Apex Legends Twitter account reads, "We are humbled by all your support and we can't wait to show you what's next." By comparison, the game's Battle Royale rival Fortnite reached 200 million players over a year after release. And League of Legends developer Riot Games has hired its first Chief Diversity Officer, Angela Roseborough. Roseborough previously headed Dropbox's diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. On the company's website, Riot wrote that Angela will oversee all activity relating to diversity and inclusion, and will lead the creation of new programs to foster a more inclusive culture at Riot. This news comes as Riot Games makes steps to improve internal culture, with the company being the focus of a damning Kotaku report last year which cast light on its bro culture. Riot Games also currently faces a class action lawsuit for discrimination and harassment. The studio also has a diversity, inclusion, and Riot Culture Hub on its website for public access to future news on its progress. That's all for now. For more gaming updates, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as @ZEDGamesAU. Yes, that was the week in gaming news. How do we feel about new Pokemon?
I am so excited for that little green monkey man.
So cute.
I cannot wait to choose him.
You're ready to
my
choose him and
God.
catch them all, and it's going to be great.
Wow, I'm Scottish, eh?
Hey, that's
Yeah,
right.
I can't wait.
Are they
Absolutely.
Scottish or are they
Thank you
just
much.
like English?
Well, the
Got like
idea,
a-
the fan theory is that it's set somewhere in the UK, so they could totally be a bit of Scottish action
that's
going
gonna
on.
be
Girl's got a
so
little
good.
hat
I
that
love
looks
that.
Scottish, so everyone's like, "Hey, Pokemon!"
Hey, absolutely. Yeah, I'm pretty keen on Sobble. Sobble, the little concerned,
he's so
anxious
cute.
little
I
tadpole
love
boy.
Sobble.
So cute. Can't wait.
Little heart.
Can't wait for that. Yeah, some good news out of Riot Games there, pointing.
Definitely.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely.
The three females at the table like, we're so proud.
Do a Pokemon and collect them all. More diversity.
more
A
diversity.
Absolutely.
little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Get a
Yeah.
smorgasbord of it.
Yeah.
More of them, but all.
Yeah.
That's
All the
generally how it
types.
works.
All.
Collect them.
Yeah. You have to get.
collect them.
You have to get all of them.
Yes. Yes.
So, Kaylin, you've been playing a bit of Dead or Alive 6.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a little
You've been
bit
putting them up.
now.
Put them up.
Tell us all about those sentient jello boobs.
All right. I will.
Yes, it is a problem, isn't it?
It's such a problem.
Look, it is, amongst other things. So it came out on the 1st of March. So she is fresh and new and
Out there.
out there in the
She's
world.
Ready to fight.
Yeah. So my experience with DOA, I should probably preface, I played DOA 2 when I was a little closeted teenager and did not know I was gay, so I would turn the old age settings up to 99 and get those bobbies juggling.
Maximum Jello.
Gotta get those bobbies.
So that is my experience with the game up until now. So I haven't played any of the recent ones. I know that after DOA 5, they got a lot of negative feedback. It wasn't received well. And so they went, well, we're going to go away for a few years and really try and get a good one happening. And now
Work on
What
something
is it
else
we've
other
done
than
wrong?
Jello
has
physics.
come out. Yeah. So it's interesting. I mean, obviously, since I last played it, there's been a lot of stuff added, a lot of new characters, a lot of new features, all of that sort of stuff. One of the things I remember about DOA 2 was how nice and simple the story mode was.
Yeah.
So you got a fighting game, you go into story mode, you're not expecting it to be great, but you know, it's like, here's the reason you're fighting. Yeah? DOA 6 has just... I don't even know.
Tell us, come on.
Tell
They
us, come on.
present you with a large screen which just has a million little things for each different character and the stories that you can unlock. So you've got the main story mode that runs and makes little to no sense.
Wonderful.
I'm
I
not
mean,
going to lie.
Fighting game stories don't exactly have
Fighting
the
game
best
story,
track record.
exactly. Yeah. So you're not expecting much, but it is strange. And then when you play the main story, you unlock side story bits that run in conjunction, but with other characters and sort of what they're doing. So it winds up feeling very disjointed
Okay.
and messy and overcomplicated and just convoluted. Like it just, yeah. But that's the story mode, you know, like it's not a story game, which I'm very used to playing story-orientated games,
Yep.
so I maybe expected a bit too much, but I just know that in DOA 2, when they kept it simple, it worked really well.
You know, it's no Citizen Kane of video games. But, you know,
It really isn't. But you get from A to B, I guess, and they introduce the big boss and...
give you a reason to just fight. You know?
Exactly.
Yep.
Just do it.
Sometimes no, but that's okay.
So speaking of fighting, when it comes to the bread and butter combat, though,
Yes.
how is that?
It is good. It is the DOA classic sort of, you know, you've got this button for kick, punch, you can do combos. They've actually added a new move, which I really like, called it's like brutal stun or something like that.
Yep.
But basically you press, I'm playing on my PlayStation 4, you press R1 in a series of moves and you get this really awesome combo that can't be interrupted, and you can actually get a breakpoint as well, which is like this special move that they can do that does like a decent amount of damage. So that I really like. The rest of it is good in that, you know, you get your tutorials, they teach you how to do the moves, they teach you how to do the combos, how to block, how to like do offensive holds, so like grabbing things when people come at you.
Just grab things.
Yeah,
Grab
just grabbing
at it.
grab
stuff.
Pick it up.
Grab the
it.
person, take them
Do it.
across the room.
And you've
Whatever
got-
helps you make them dead so you're alive.
Exactly.
Adrian. This show is just me being disappointed
I'm
in
sorry.
So you also have like the classic fighting game modes. Like you've got the arcade mode, which is just you choose a character and you fight a certain amount of times, get rewards at the end. There's time survival mode and there's just a survival mode. And all of those are great.
Yep.
Like, yeah, just what it says on the packet. I love it.
It does it. What was your favourite?
My favourite actually is the DOA quest mode. So DOA quest, you go in, you get a set quest, and it's like you do this thing, and this thing. Once
Okay.
you complete them all and clear the quest, you actually get rewards. So DOA's always had like unlockable content in it within costumes and hairstyles and stuff. And when I was 14, I was really into that. I was into unlocking all the costumes and all of that sort of stuff because I'm a girl and I'm fulfilling that stereotype.
We love it.
But they've made it really difficult in this game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How so?
So you have to get a certain amount of like points to unlock one costume. Sometimes you get 2 out of 150 for one fight. Sometimes you get more, so the DOA quest is also good for that. You get you can unlock a costume, but you can't choose which costume you're unlocking.
And
it's completely random.
And it's 150 points per costume.
At least.
And
some
you're
of them
earning
are
2 per fight.
1,000.
Okay, wow.
Some of them are 750. Some of them are 250.
This sounds
That's
like
a
it should be a
grind.
mobile game.
It sounds like it's
Yeah.
like a free to play.
Yeah.
Like, can you buy the
Freemium.
costumes? Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Caitlin's putting her finger up.
You can.
But wait, there's more.
You can buy the season pass. The season pass is $135.95.
Excuse me?
And it does not even include all possible DLC.
I mean, I'm pretty bougie, but I'm not that bougie.
I read that and I was like, this is ridiculous.
That's such a cash grab.
Oh, yeah.
Like, get out.
It is.
It's even worse than
That
EA.
is. I know there are
Star
other games
Wars.
that do it. That is so much money for some costumes and like 2 extra characters. Like, get
Yep.
out.
Is that just?
I
Is it? Sorry, go on.
No, I just like.
She's done. She's done.
Ridiculous.
Is it just the aesthetic stuff, or have they also locked characters and modes and other things like that behind a paywall?
So, yeah, I think I need to play it a bit more because I don't think you can actually unlock. But there are 2 characters, Tengu, who is this like really gorgeous female version of the Tengu character that they sometimes have. You know, titties, she's got really nice costumes. Like
She looks good.
She's awesome.
good.
She flies like she's beautiful.
Heck yeah.
I like her. And there's Phase 4. So if you're familiar with the DOA series, you know that Kasumi always has a clone for whatever reason.
She just
And
does.
Phase 4 is like her clone. So those 2, I'm pretty sure at the moment you can only either buy individually or get the season pass, and
my
then they're all
God.
included.
Right.
This is just disappointing.
I'm just reading up the Wikipedia plot summary for Dead or Alive 6,
Oh no.
which does say it needs improvement. Literally.
Accurate.
So the plot is, it follows the events of Dead or Alive 5, where Kasumi retires from her ninja clan and secretly resided in a mountain village, but the world is about to be threatened by a new sinister plan.
Of course
Doesn't
it is.
mention that at all. She's just there. She's back. She's like, hi guys, and they're like, hey dude, what's up? And she's just there, and they're all ninjas again together.
Okay, well that was contributed by some person on Wikipedia, so thanks person.
Thanks.
DOA fanboy.
I also I want to mention as well, like, the unlockables that are quite easily achievable are things like trivia and an encyclopedia, and like the trivia is
Joking.
just a series of really awkward, badly translated
Have you got any?
text conversations that pop up and you can read.
Have you got any zingers for us?
Oh my god!
Have you brought some zingers?
Let me see if I can
Okay,
find some.
I'm so
I didn't.
keen.
I was just like, the other one is like the encyclopedia, which is just some information about different characters and their backstory and that sort of thing. Which, like, fair enough. But
Yeah.
I don't
Everybody
know.
loves, earning an
Yeah, everyone
encyclopedia
loves-
in their fighting
Oh, yeah.
game.
Reading.
Give me trivia.
I
That's
love
what I
reading
like.
games. I just like, I kind of understand what they're trying to achieve, but I think it is a combination of making things too hard to obtain versus making things that are no good really easy to obtain, and weird translation things. Like, I know in anime and stuff like that, sometimes they do just write up like conversations, and that's like a really popular thing. It just doesn't appeal to a Western audience. Like, I don't care if Helena and Zach had a conversation over brunch. I don't care.
It's just like this written conversation in papyrus font, and you're just
Yeah.
like, what's going on
Yeah,
here?
like, what? Like, this is it. This is it. I just, I wish that the costumes were more accessible, because
Yeah.
it just gets to a point where you feel like
You're
you're
just
just
grinding.
never going to achieve
it's a
it.
grind.
And if you do, it's a costume for a completely random character that you're not invested in.
Oh my god.
So, like, some characters that I like really liked from when I was younger are still there, which is great. They do have 2 new characters as well that are like on the roster already. You don't have to purchase them or anything like that. And they're great. Like, Nico is really adorable. She's this little Finnish scientist who does like an Indonesian fighting style, which is really cool. And like, I really do like the fact that they have all of the fighting styles that are used. Like, that is very interesting to me because I think martial arts are really awesome and there's so many different ones across the world. So it's fun being able to sort of see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, any fighting game, you kind of need a good soundtrack to keep the energy going. How was the soundtrack, did you find?
I'm gonna be honest, like all the other DOA soundtracks, it felt very similar. Like, it's good. It gets you pumped up. You're like, yes, I'm gonna fight.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's kick some ass.
Yeah.
But it's similar to previous DOA games. So it's that same sort of kind of pump up guitar music.
Yeah. Just like whatever gets you going, you know, just the bare minimum. It's like, all right, let's do this. We're good to go.
I feel like they should have tried harder.
I think, especially because they went away after getting negative feedback. They took a few years to develop this game and they worked really hard on it, and it shows. Like, the models are beautiful, like the assets are stunning. They worked hard on. But that's it, like, you know, they've put 75% of the effort into the women and a lot less percent into the men.
Okay.
I mean,
and the guys always have like half as many costumes, which, you know, it's a fighting game, whatever, but even the models feel shaky compared to the female models, which are high def and gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but yeah,
they're just over-caffeinated like me, just always shaking. So
literally.
It's a good buzz.
Overall thoughts on the game?
Overall thoughts, I definitely don't think the season pass is worth it.
Definitely not.
I don't think so. I think with DOA, if you enjoy fighting games, you enjoy the challenge, go for it. Like, it is the same as most other DOA games have been. We'll also mention that if you want to play multiplayer, you have to have PlayStation Plus. So keep that in mind.
God.
Or Xbox Live if you're playing on Xbox One.
That's right. Yep. Yeah. And PC, I'm not sure. I know that it's out on PC as well. So, yeah.
There you have it. Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive 6 is currently out on the PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Millie.
Hi.
You got some spoops for us.
I do.
Some speedy spoops.
I do have some speedy spoops, and it's pretty relevant because we've just seen our little speedy boy in some leaked concept art for his new movie.
You are, of course, talking about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic. It's gotta go fast.
What noise does it make when he jumps? He goes boing.
Isn't it like? Oh no! There's too many noises. All I've got is like
Let's
the
jump
ring
into
noise.
your little spoopy expose, if you will,
All
on
right.
Sonic.exe.
So I'm talking about Sonic.exe. Thank you, Adrian. And it's a creepypasta from the year of 2011.
Uh-huh.
And it started off as a creepypasta, posted on a creepypasta wiki, so you can tell it's very credible.
And for those who don't know, a creepypasta is basically just like catch-all term for like anything rather that is like it's like a horror kind of thing.
Yeah, it's basically like where Slender Man came from.
Yeah.
So it's posted by a user called JC Hyena.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell what sort of demographic he's from. So according to his story, a friend mailed him the Sonic game, and it was disturbing and came with a warning not to play it.
Mm-hmm.
So of course he played it.
Because people
Right?
always make games that you don't play. Like, I'm going to make a game for nobody to play ever.
I know, right?
And then I'm going to put it in the post and mail
And give it to someone
in
and tell them not
2011.
to.
But then apparently, after he finished playing it and all the spooky things happened, his Sonic doll on his bed started bleeding and attacked him.
Okay.
Right? Right? Isn't that so scary? So scary.
Tell me more.
So, in 2012, a user called My5T Crimson
Oh,
Yep.
spooky.
posted...
Know him?
I
One
know.
of us
It's got
all.
crimson in the name. Oh,
Yep, we love
like
him.
blood, the colour of blood.
Released a playable version of the game. Of course, PewDiePie played it.
Okay.
Of course he did.
Yeah, all
It was
right.
2012, and that's what he did. And it brought the game so much fame, unfortunately. So let me tell you a little something about this Sonic.exe.
Yeah.
So it's it's a ROM hack, right?
Okay.
Of the original Sonic the Hedgehog game. So da 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 da.
So that's where someone's literally.
Death.
Wow.
So that's where someone's literally gone into the original kind of like game file, and they've basically just had their way with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's essentially it. They've
Wow.
had their way with it. So it features a possessed Sonic, which does I think the laugh is called a Kafka laugh.
Come again?
Kafka? I think it's from Final Fantasy, but it's
Oh,
like
okay.
whoa, 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 whoa. You're so welcome, drivers.
I'm sorry if I just peeked the mic.
I'm so sorry. So it features a possessed Sonic hunting down his friends, Tails and Knuckles, and even Dr. Robotnik.
Oh my
Or for those
God.
of us in the Western world, Dr. Eggman.
He is the
Why
Eggman.
is that different? I don't know. Sonic. So he hunts them down and then murders them in terrifying and gory ways. The game includes many jump scares. And it includes a frightening laugh, and the words are, I am God, quite a bit.
Okay.
From Sonic himself.
Yeah, Sonic is possessed and he likes to get up in the screen and go, I am God, and like blows out your speakers.
Amen.
Amen, right?
Praise be Sonic.
Yes.
So, let me read you a little snippet from the original creepypasta so
Please
we
do.
can see how good it is, right? So, he starts, the character's name is Tom. And it says, another cutscene played as Knuckles fell to his knees, clutched his head, sobbing. I felt his agony. Sonic was actually driving us, caps, both crazy. Also, let me say that Knuckles is spelt knuckled.
Okay.
Knuckled.
Good.
Right.
So it's
Alright.
real quality right here.
Knuckles was feeling a bit knuckled.
He was a bit
feeling
knuckled,
bit beaten up.
getting murdered by possessed Sonic.
Yeah, all right. Okay. I'm on board.
The game is often mocked for its poor quality.
I wonder why.
And the original story was so poorly written, Creepypasta Wiki took it down.
Aw.
Creepypasta Wiki took it down.
That's how you
like
know you've
that.
messed up.
And
Yeah.
let me say that the author, what was his name? JC the Hyena. He went on a tirade and said that everyone's against furries. That's why they took it down.
Okay.
Because everyone hates furries. And he was so
Well.
famous.
Well.
He was so famous because of this lovely creepypasta where Knuckled got murdered. Anyway.
Look, I used to be a part of the Sonic community when I was younger. Actually, here's a
Weren't
little
we
fun
all,
fact for you. When I was
honestly?
12 years old, I had a Sonic fan site on freewebs.com.
I'm so proud.
Thank you so much. I'm not proud of
God.
myself now.
I had a
um,
Sonic doll too.
But I feel like I'm ready to admit that. So,
And here we are now.
Here we are now.
So, the game is, I'll give it some credit, it is a bit spooky, but it relies heavily on like a jump scare and like, reverse Lavender Town music and, bump, 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 everything's scary.
It's not like Momo tier though, is it?
No, it's
Good.
not my tier. And it overuses lots of red pixels. So it's like candy-coloured blood. Everyone's crying blood. Blood, blood, blood. Blood is scary, right? You're 12 and this is scary.
I'm 12 and what is this?
Blood is so edgy.
So that's about all I have to say, other than the fact that it inspired many other horrifying creations. And I'm not just talking about Sally.exe or there's Sonic2.exe,
Okay.
Sonic and Eggman.exe/Knuckles.
You know.
But it also inspired many other horrifying creations, such as Daniel the Hedgehog, Stephen the Hedgehog, Sally the Hedgehog, Cold Steel the
God.
Hedgehog,
I
the Hedgehog,
I think it is one of the more interesting things,
Nipples the
especially
Enchilada.
Nickels the enchilada. Very, very good.
So, unfortunately, it started the whole EXE genre, and I like to think that they're getting better, but I've watched a couple this afternoon, and they're not.
Aw.
Sorry, everyone. I know you work hard on those things, but just stop overusing the red pixel tool. It's not fun. Just get better at creating atmosphere and actual genuine scares. Polybius is scarier than Sonic.exe,
Right.
unless you're 12.
So we got a nice spoopy rating system going on here. We're gonna have to start rating your
Oh,
spoop
yeah.
level.
I
we
know,
need a
right?
spectrum of spoops.
I should.
Oof. Nice.
Polybius, supposedly killed people. And Evil Otto killed 3 people. Sonic.exe, get good.
Yeah.
Actually come into my room and bleed your tears of blood on me.
Okay.
Step your game up.
I have
ruin my carpet.
I have a Sonic doll. I have a Sonic doll.
And with
Possess
that, I
it.
think
Come for
that's
me,
the
Sonic.exe. I dare you. I am God. What is this?
You just start performing voodoo on the Sonic doll.
I
my
will.
God.
I'll film it and post it on Zed Games. Thank you
If
for
we do that,
listening.
if we do that, it's just acupuncture. It's we gotta
yeah, of course.
G-rated.
Of course they will.
I do think it's interesting that the Sonic series is what inspired this kind of creepypasta, because the Sonic community is known for being extremely creative with sprite artists and fan artists and all of the character creations that are spin-offs of the Hedgehogs and the Echidnas and the Foxes in the series. To the point that Sonic Forces, one of the latest games in the series, had its own character creator.
Yeah.
Because that was something that fans were asking for so long. So
Yeah, I would say Sonic as a whole is actually quite wholesome. It's just that some of these spin-offs have just unfortunately made Sonic such a meme now that like no one's ever going to give his movie a chance, unfortunately. Like he's such a meme now.
I mean, also those weirdly muscly blue hairy calves.
I mean,
I don't know, man.
to anyone who hasn't seen the leaked concept art of Sonic from the Sonic the Hedgehog movie that's about to come out,
upsetting.
we'll
upsetting.
retweet that on our
Uncanny
socials.
Valley.
We'll repost that. You can be the judge. You
I think
can let
they've
us
made
know.
it a little better with that leaked concept art. That's not too bad now. They just looks like a cute little fluffy hedgehog. But for some reason, instead of giving him like gloves, they've like made that part of his fur.
Yes.
But
I
he's
don't
wearing like
the
human
seamless gloves.
shoes.
Yes.
It's
I don't know how to
there
feel
was some
about it.
choices made, but guaranteed the Sonic fans will eat it up. So
What if the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is actually a movie based on Sonic.exe?
Oh my god, all those 12-year-olds are going to cry. I kind of love that idea.
Wonderful, Millie. Thank you so much for those very fast spoops.
You're
talking
welcome.
about Sonic.exe.
Yeah, you got to
there.
go fast.
We're gonna-
Chili dogs.
He does
I'm
love his
so
chili
sorry.
dogs. Who's playing footsies with me under the desk, by the way?
Hi, how you doing?
Do you mind, Millie?
I just wanted to stretch my feet, and I was like, oh,
Because you were
that's
so
a foot.
chilled out.
Hi, how you doing? There's my foot.
We are pretty
Enjoy.
chilled out on the show. Hey, Kate.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be taking us back in time to our childhoods.
Yeah.
Speaking about Neopets with a twist.
Yeah, so look, I'm so excited to talk about Neopets because it was something that I spent so much of my childhood doing, like to the point where I think I shaped our internet a few times just playing Neopets.
Same here. I mean,
Like,
show of
honestly-
hands in the studio, you can't see the hands.
Oh god,
All the
just
hands are
like-
up. You're
yeah.
welcome.
Dude,
We
I
all play
still
Neopets.
play Neopets.
Do you really?
Yeah, I'm invested, man.
Wow. Amazing.
I have like 5 pets now. They're amazing.
Good on you.
So
I love them.
I just want to preface this with I love Neopets.
Yep.
And we may take a more pleasant discussion afterwards. But
Right now, you're going to bring those M. Night Shyamalan twists.
yeah, no, it's
Do it.
I think there's some things that people need to know. I'm just an investigative journalist.
Yeah.
That one.
That one.
I
know
love
the
word
one.
whiskers, man.
Yeah.
We know.
So the website officially launched in November of 1999 and went from 0 to 600,000 daily users in 2 months.
Hi, that was me.
So yeah,
Millie
just
just
us
multi-boxing
hitting- yeah.
Neopets on all her computers.
I need all the pets.
Obviously, due to the traffic, the creators Adam Powell and Donna Williams looked for investors to assist with the funding of the website and all the servers, and also the management of the site. So they sold a majority of the shares to a man named Doug Doring, while keeping the rights to all executive decision making, which included things like content uploaded, the Neopets themselves, the design, the games on the website, that sort of stuff. So they kept a lot of the executive decisions with the original creators, but this guy Doug came in and he helped them out financially, which was great. He also came up with Neopets Incorporated, which was just basically a business structure to assist Neopets actually make it financial. He helped by removing any copyrighted content and making the page profitable with various advertising methods. He was the person to coin and promptly trademark the term immersive advertising, which you'd all probably remember.
Okay.
You'd probably remember experiencing in Neopets with the McDonald's store in Neopia. And
Right.
there were little surveys. I don't know if you remember those, but
Yep.
they were market research
So
surveys.
it was like interactive ads, basically.
Yeah, so not interactive. It wasn't
No?
like you do one thing. It was immersive in that it was the content of the website, but it was paid for by an advertiser.
Yeah.
So similar to interactive, marketing now, but this was, a lot more immersive.
It was
obviously.
McImmersive. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. With Doug's assistance, other managerial methods altered slightly as well. So they started using a different business model, which was called org board. It encouraged staff and management to retaliate against others, both inside and outside of the organization, for actions that undermine the organization's greater desires. So obviously, that could include things like stealing from the business or anything that kind of undermines the profitability of the organization. staff, management, all of the people within the organisation were encouraged to retaliate against others for those actions. This also means that it was a fireable offence to have a different view from Neopets and management.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Yeah, I heard that rumour as I got older. Like,
Yeah.
heaps of Neopet staff started coming out and being like, yeah, it was pretty crappy.
I love
Yeah.
capitalism. Neo-capitalism, if you will.
That means something completely different.
Yeah.
A different one.
A 2005 article also mentioned that staff had roles that involved management and moderating different chats and communication on the website. So there was obviously, ways to communicate with other people and make friends on the platform. So staff were moderating that, obviously to prevent anything that was lewd, because it was marketed towards a young audience. It also moderated out topics relating to politics, romance, and religion. So
Let's deep dive.
At this point, you begin to realize that there are some suspicious things happening, and avoiding religion seems like a really weird way to go for, a kid's website. It doesn't seem like something that naturally would be declined. And then you realize that Doug Doering, org board, and these HR practices are all... Are you ready for it?
Let's do it.
Ready.
From the Church of Scientology.
Oh, God, no. Now you've mentioned them, they're going to start suing us, you realise.
You had my curiosity. Now you have my attention.
Yep.
You've got us. Let's go.
So thankfully the original creators have said that when they discovered that org board was from the Church of Scientology, they've begun researching other staff that were hired after the change and found that all of those staff members were Scientologists as well.
Of course they were.
Donna Williams has also mentioned publicly that interviewees for the organisation were asked questions like, which straight line seems friendlier?
That's very Scientology. I've watched enough Scientology things to know that they make those questions like yell at an ashtray like it's your dad.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
All I can think of right
nuts.
now are those optical illusions where it's like 2 lines and it's like, which one's longer?
Yeah.
It's like a trick question.
Joking. They're crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, with that, obviously we can't speak much to the fact that, it's Scientology specifically, but it's an interesting blurred line between religious organizations buying into any business, but further the fact that this is a child's company, like it's a company geared at and sold to children.
And influencing
Yeah,
children.
I mean, all I know
Very
is
much
when I was
so.
a kid playing Neopets, the most, I guess, pivotal thing for me that was going to occur in that game was getting one of those magic paintbrushes,
Yeah.
Those rare paintbrushes. You want to change the color of your Neopet. You want to make it look really cool.
I'm still saving for one of them.
Now, more than a paintbrush, I want to hear more about this spicy story you've got here, because man, this is
Yeah.
twisty.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, Scientology was heavily involved. One of the new hires actually attempted to add Scientology teachings directly to the website.
What would it be? A Kachik telling you, you know what's good? Xenu.
Yeah, yeah.
But then, hypocritical as well, because they're trying to not have religion on the site, but then also work their teachings in,
Actually, yeah, I didn't even think of that point. So they won't let you speak about religion, but they were hoping that they could put their religion and its teachings
That's
onto the
Scientology
website.
for you.
That's interesting, yeah.
Fascinating.
That's,
It would have all gone over my head as a kid. Like I said, I'm just concerned about the
and
paintbrushes.
that's
Same.
my biggest thing.
Yeah.
How much of it did we miss? Because how many of us would have engaged with some of the immersive advertising? How many of us
absolutely.
would have not picked up on something that was on the website that might have had a deeper meaning?
It could have stuck with us subliminally,
And
Yeah.
we're all just,
if you want to put on your tinfoil hat,
Kate,
Yeah.
you're bringing
Wake
the
up,
spooks this
sheeple.
week.
The conspiracy
You're bringing the spooks.
Thank you.
I'm loving it.
It's interesting, but also that point you made earlier about the not being able to have any differing opinions, not being able to make any negative comments. That's very much something that you see in the Church of Scientology as
Very
well.
much so.
And if you do sort of differ from that line
Yeah.
of thinking, you are kicked out and excommunicated. So
Yeah.
They'll
Caitlin,
start
are you
coming
making
for
a
you.
differing opinion right now? Are
No,
you,
I'm not.
Are you
I'm
stating
just
something
saying.
negative?
No,
don't keep me out.
we love Scientology here. What are you talking about?
Okay, well, we're going to...
Yeah.
/S.
I allow all people to have whatever beliefs or opinions they have or
Yes,
want,
exactly.
and I don't think that mine should have any bearing on yours. But
Not
I
at all.
mean,
It is important to say that,
really?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean,
Yeah.
in Neopets is just such a
Yeah.
wholesome,
Well, it
innocent
was.
experience. I
I'm
mean,
not bitter.
Yeah.
What's it like
Children.
today?
Bad.
Yeah? Is it still just browser-based?
It's so clunky because they moved the servers so many times. You might be getting to that, Kate. I'm sorry.
Go
But
for it.
yeah, they've moved the servers so many times and they've jumped between management. Like ever since Adam and oh my god, I just blanked on her name.
Oh, Adam and Donna.
Donna. Yeah, Adam and Donna. They're the OGs, and their motives are still all over the website because
Yeah.
they technically still kind of
Well, it's
like
their
around.
creative
It-
property, to my understanding.
Yeah.
But they've sold almost everything now, just to be like, nope, not ours, sort of thing, because it started to get Scientology and Jumpstart bought it out and made it like, they were like,
Viacom
you know
were
what's good?
involved.
Wholesome Nickelodeon cartoons.
So, bringing the story, I guess, to its ultimate resolution. Has anything else happened from there?
I mean, beyond that, I just wanted to bring up a few other points of concern.
Yeah, let's do it.
Obviously, the advertising to children, the pay-to-play elements of the website, and there was an article about a child, basically the game types, because there was quite a heavy emphasis on gambling games. It's a question of whether children understood, one, that it was gambling, and two, that you didn't need to, and one child was on, I believe it was a current affair, and they basically said, you need to play gambling games to play Neopets, which is
Man.
not true.
The
So-
thing is
so
that
twisty.
I would agree completely with that. I would agree completely with that gambling thing because with the paintbrushes, the inflation rate on Neopets is ridiculous. Like it's almost 1 million Neo points to get one paintbrush, and it's one
Yes,
use.
it was
And then that's
Yeah.
all of it gone. Then you have to go play those gambling games again to get your money back. Make your pet pretty.
Thank you so much for painting that picture for us. That
Thank
was an
you.
incredible
Thank you for
story. I had
listening.
no idea the world of Neopets was that intriguing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do some research on the back stories of Neopets.
Someone go ahead and make a original Neopets, and we'll all play it, and we'll leave links to the articles I've used on the social.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
That brings us to the end of another week of Z Games. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. It's been a pleasure having you. We have been Z Games. My name is Adrian. I'm joined in the studio by Millie, Kate, and Caitlin. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.